Minasan, okarina-sai. Today, someone I admire and appreciate very dearly, an extremely talented and beautiful lady who doesn't seem to get the recognition she deserves. She definitely has her passionate fan base and her resume is great, but as I said in the last video, no awards unfortunately, and she doesn't seem to get invited out to many events, as a solo act at least. This lovely underrated lady being Azusa Tadokoro, born November 11th, 1993 in Mito within the Ibaraki Prefecture, currently affiliated with the talent agency Hori Pro International and signed to the record label Lantis. She became interested in voice acting after hearing Akiko Yajima voicing Kohaku in the anime series Inuyasha. Make sure to remember that as it will be important later. Also, shoutouts to my childhood. This was one of the only shows that actually aired where I live. She participated in the 36th Hori Pro Talent Scout Caravan and was declared the winner, which led to her joining the agency. She made her voice acting debut in 2012, voicing a character in a commercial for SSK Foods. Not long after, she was cast in anime as Munio in the ecchi series So I Can't Play H. She also began to voice Aoi Kiriya in Aikatsu, alongside fellow future Bandori girls Ayaka Ohashi and Tomoyo Kurosawa, who are also both in the same agency as her. In 2013, she voiced Vino in I Couldn't Become a Hero, so I reluctantly decided to get a job, which was technically her first main role aside from Aikatsu, which has like 10 leads, and to this day is still one of her most popular characters. In 2014, she had another lead role of Kotori in Brynhildr in the Darkness, but we also have Hiro in Himegoto, Sawashiko in Daime Dollar, and Murasaki in Tokyo ESP. She also made her official debut as a singer with the album Beyond Myself. In 2015, she voiced Kiriko in Ultimate Otaku Teacher. Really fun show, by the way. Solid cast consisting of Ayane Sakura, Suzuko Momori, and Sora Amamiya, just to name a few. Back to Azusa though, she voiced Azusa in Sound Euphonium. I love it when the Seiyuu and character share the same name. Perfect casting. She actually even had a second role in the series, that being Tomoe. And this year she also began to voice an Idolmaster Million Live with the character of Shizuka Mogami. Then there is her voicing Io in Big Order, the OVA version, reprising that character in the full series the following year. But before that, real quick, she released her first single, Dreamline, and also her second single, Kimi to Yakusoko o Kazueyo. So now, 2016, Ruru in Myriad Colors Phantom World, also singing the ending theme, her third single Junshun Always, voicing Bedivere in Divine Gate, Yume Sakura in Bakuan, which is a slice-of-life show about girls riding motorbikes. That's a fun concept, but she also voiced Miharu in the movie Pop in Q. Also her second Aikatsu character, that being Yuzuni Kaido in Aikatsu Stars. There's also now Nakamura in Trickster, singing the second opening, Unmei Dilemma, as well as the first ending, One Hope Sniper, those being her fourth and fifth singles. One more role to end off, voicing Yonaga in Luger Code 1951, a one-episode fantasy story which seems to be hard to find as it was net animation only, I think. Not entirely sure. What I am sure of though is her second album, It's My Cue. 2017, the year of the rooster, her personal Chinese zodiac, and very fitting because I would argue this is her biggest year. First up, Taifutaba in Masamune-kun's Revenge, Astaroth in the Seven Mortal Sins, not to be confused with the pretty good Seven Deadly Sins, but also Cathali in World End, and singing the second opening, her single, Dearest Drop, this even being her most popular character to date. But then there's the role you most likely know her for, Karu Seto in Bang Dream, the guitarist of Hello Happy World. You know, the one who always says, Unfortunately, Hello Happy World doesn't exactly perform live, so we won't be seeing her on stage anytime soon. Last up would be her third album, titled So What? Feisty. 2018 gave us her role of Pipami in Side A of Episode 8 in Pop Team Epic, Lucilia in Violet Evergarden, Sachihino in Marchin Machin, and another pretty big one, while appearing to idol shows at least, Symboli Rudolph in Uma Musume Pretty Derby. She also sang the first ending theme of Netflix's Baki, great show, that track being her seventh single, Resolve. Then her third Aikatsu role, Karen Kamishiro in Aikatsu Friends. On to 2019 now, we have her role of Chloe in the second half of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, as well as singing the second ending theme, her eighth single, Little Soldier. She was Reiko in 3D Real Girl, Kika in The Ones Within, as well as Kaguya in Kandagawa Jet Girls if you care to watch mindless ecchi crap, but her 10th single Rivals was the ending theme. Then a non-Annie song was her 9th single Equal, and her very first photo book, As I Am, spelled AZ like the initials of her name, but also the English alphabet. Since that is the first and last letter, half of the book was a big showcase of outfits that started with each letter of said alphabet. I actually even own this book. She is very pretty. In 2020, she voiced Mifuyu in Princess Connect Redive, the young version of Ryoma in By the Grace of the Gods, and she sang the opening, which was her 10th single, Yasashi Sakai. She also voiced Tento Madoka in Boruto, but next is the big one. Remember in the intro when I said to remember her love for Inuyasha? Well, in 2020, she began to voice Moruha, the daughter of Inuyasha, in the sequel series, Yashihime, Princess Half Demon. Super happy for her, she deserves it, and I'm really glad that she got this role. Now we have 2021, 2 solid shows, first being Mei in SS Dynazenon, and the second being Koito in Wonder Egg Priority. This show also having Shuka Saito, Tomori Kusunoki, and Hinaki Yano. Big shoutouts to Love Live. Why hasn't Azusa been in any of those shows yet? But more shows that she is in is Girls in Panzer being Belle, Mute King the Dancing Hero as Naomi, and yet another Aikatsu role in Aikatsu Planet as Smart Kyubi. Then the release of her most recent 4th album, Waver. 2022, she had Riona in Akebi Sailor Uniform, Hisame in Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Texas in Arknights, and Karina in The World of Leedale, also singing the ending. Lots of ending themes for this lady, not so many openings. This track in particular being her only digital song, Hakoniwa no Kofuku, and to end off would be her second photo book, Yohaku. Let's start off with the music for 2023, Drumshiki Tensaki, and also Private Room. Great cover. For both actually. Then with anime, Itsuki in Malevolent Spirits, her Private Room song being the ending theme for Season 2. Kiriko in Real Romanesque, that is her second time voicing a character with that name. Ninya in Handyman Saito in Another World. Alina in Saving 80,000 Gold in Another World for My Retirement. 2 really trash isekai, but hey, good for her, work is work. But 2023 was also the year Idolmaster Million Live finally got their full anime adaptation, where she reprised her role of Shizuka. Nearing the end here, last year of 2024, she had Zayet in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, hell yeah, No Ichigo in Nare Nare Cheer For You, a version of Light Tenryu in Shadowverse, and Alice in VTuber Legend. Didn't even know there was a VTuber anime, that's just great. There was also her Ivory EP, and her most recent 3rd photo book, Chat Noir, which is French for Black Cat. For this year of 2025, she has already voiced Chika in Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You, which I'm sure men say to her on a daily basis. Currently in I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level Season 2 as Miss Jontier, or Miss Jonty, that's a crazy name, and she is also currently reprising her role of Rudolph in Pretty Derby Cinderella Grey. Next month she will be Eri in City, the animation, which I was gonna say looks exactly like Nichijou, and that's because it's the same creator, so expect random craziness. Next month will also be a double release of her best of albums, titled Hare and K, or Ki? I don't know, it's a Q and an E. Could be translated wrong, but either way, 2 new albums next month, gonna be great. Moving on to the other stuff, she has had unnamed or 1-episode characters in Nakaimo, Carnival, Death Parade, Garden of Words, Persona 3's second movie, Persona 5 the animation, Mazinger Z, Blue Period, Shine Post, and ZX Code Reunion. Now on to her video game roles. Like 80% of these are mobile games. As always, we have Magia Record, Grand Blue Fantasy, Girls' Frontline, Blue Archive, Shadowverse, and Arknights. But also 2 console games, being Akiba's Beat and Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Then her anime roles that were also video games like Pretty Derby, Bang Dream, Idolmaster, Princess Connect, Aikatsu, and Jet Girls. As for live action dubbing, she has about 8 credits, on Wikipedia at least, and on her Twitter she has posted about a few more movies. Movies from South Korea, China, Taiwan, and America. Palm Springs probably being the most notable of her movies. Now with music credits, aside from her solo stuff, include I Couldn't Become a Hero, Kensen Robo, and Brynhilder. Those being openings and endings with other cast members, with insert songs in Ultimate Otaku Teacher and 7 Mortal Sins. Also insert stuff in Aikatsu, Bang Dream, and Pretty Derby, naturally. Concert appearances include being at Inisama multiple times with the Million Stars, those being 2013, 14, 17, and 18. Also performing solo and doing a collab with Iris at the 2016 show. Even being in the yearly music video for the 2018 theme, with the 2 other Million Live leads. She's been at Animax Musics a few times as well, in 2016, 18, 19, and the 2021 online version. With Idolmaster Million Live, she's been at many shows over the years, all 10 of the main shows, usually being on multiple days, repping them at the Bandai Namco Fest in 2019 and 2022, the Big World of Idols event in 2014, 15, and 23, then the Nijigen Collab Fest with Love Live, just to name a few. With Pretty Derby, not as much, being at the second show, day 2 of the third, the 4th Tokyo and Balluna Dome on day 2, and then the 5th Tokyo event on day 1. As a solo act, she's been at the Atlantis Annie-Song Festival, AFA Hong Kong and Singapore, all in 2019, AFA United in 2020, Anime Central in 2023 over in America, as well as the EJ My Girl Fest. Now I know in the intro I said she's barely at festivals as a solo act, and I just mentioned like 7, but she's been in the industry for 13 years now as a solo singer. So yeah, in that time frame, it's really not a lot. But back in 2019, she held her first live, having another show in 2021, a Zep tour in 2023, 2 different acoustic lives, one in 2023 as well, and the other one in the following year, that one even being streamed to YouTube. There might be more solo shows that I missed, but these are the ones that I can confirm. Now on to those lovely fun facts. She's 158 centimeters or 5'2", blood type AB, a Scorpio, born in the year of the rooster, and apparently her shoe size is listed as 23.5 centimeters or size 7 for you foot fetish freaks. She is on both Twitter X and Instagram, as well as a YouTube channel, actually having 2, one more for music and one for gaming, where she mostly plays horror games, lots of Resident Evil, hell yes, and then she has an official fan club called Fonzu. Azusa was the Tuesday assistant for the radio program Mukami Plus from April 2013 to March 2022, also having a radio program Heiko-sen Scramble with Hololive VTuber Suisei starting in April 2021. Not sure it's still ongoing though, and I don't feel like I've seen her talk about it in a while. She has also made an appearance on Airi Suzuki and Masayoshi Oishi's Annie-Song cover show, singing Kimi ga Inai Mirai, the opening for Inuyasha, the final act. No cross-sing performance yet, however. Her hobbies include karaoke, doing impersonations, making albums. Not sure if that's meant to be photo albums or music, but I assume it's the former. But there's also cooking and sewing. Her special skills include arm wrestling. She needs to wrestle Eminita, that'd be friggin' dope. Staying healthy, and tennis, which she has been doing ever since the 5th grade, even being a member of the tennis club in both middle and high school, and the manager for her club in high school. Miss Tadokoro loves movies, and she has said that her ideal date would be either playing tennis or watching a movie so that she wouldn't have to talk a lot. She also loves cows, and her favorite fruits are pears and peaches. She has 4 older brothers, had a childhood cat named Neko-chin, who made an appearance in a video she filmed back in the 2017 era. She went to the same high school as fellow Seiyuu and singer Megumi Nakajima, though the 4-year age gap means they were not there at the same time. If she wasn't a Seiyuu, she would want to run a bakery, but claims she is not a morning person, so that may be very difficult for her. She prefers cats over dogs, tea over coffee, and sunshine over the rain. I'll take the rain. I love the rain. Also claiming to be more of a shower person than a bath taker, which I actually find very interesting since Japanese culture is way more into bathing than your traditional stand-up shower. Every time the Bandoi girls do a game where they have to stay in character, Azusa always crushes it. I guess this means she is the best actor in the franchise. And finally, let's talk about her nickname. I usually just call the Seiyuu by the nickname sometimes in the video, or just let you figure it out on your own, since that's usually one of the first things you pick up on seeing a new Seiyuu, but her nickname is really cool to me, that being Koro Azu, the ending of her last name and the beginning of her first. Some other Seiyuu have similar stuff like this, like Miyu Takegi's old nickname being Gitaka, which in her case is just her last name moved around, but Koro Azu really stood out to me for some reason, so I just wanted to point it out. Also pretty sure it was her good friend and IMS teammate Haruka Yamazaki who gave her that nickname. And with that, we have reached the ending. I do adore this woman a lot, even if I don't mention her too often. I really hope she gets a more super popular role in the future. She really deserves it. Lots of talent here. And she's just really cool and super chill. I throw her live streams on all the time when I need background noises while working. And then I end up watching half of the stream. Oops. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you're watching this again, I thank you, even though it's a re-upload with some new content. But it is 65% of the same stuff, so I am grateful for your time. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and join me in the next one where I'll be going over the supporting bands in Bang Dream, one of which Azusa actually belongs to, along with 2 of my favorite Seiyuu ever, so I'm really looking forward to making the video, and I look forward to seeing you there.